How about this today? Which is easier to give? Offerings and sacrifice or obedience? How often do you think we may give a little more money, maybe give a little more time to this that doesn't really, it's not that big of a deal, in place of being obedient? That's what we're going to talk about today. So let me start by saying this is about me. Me being called out last week by the Lord himself, and ouch. But you know, I can say, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when I'm scared, even when I don't know how I'm going to do it, even when I have no idea why he chose me to do a certain thing, I want to be obedient. Because obedience, I have history with God, okay? I have history with the Lord, and I have come to find out that obedience, no matter how crazy I think it looks, no matter how loony or wishy-washy or flaky I may look doing it, if I know that that is what the Lord told Sheila to go do, just go do it, Sheila, because it's for a reason, it's for a purpose. Might not be for me, might be for somebody else, but I can tell you, generally, I get a blessing when I do it. My blessing, if nothing else, is because I obey what the Lord told me to do, and that keeps me in close contact with him. There is no barrier there when there is disobedience. When there is disobedience, when I know he told me to do something and I just didn't do it, and I just continue to ignore that voice because I don't think I'm going to be good at it, or I don't know how to do it, or there's so many other people that could do whatever so much better than me, Lord. They're doing it. They're doing a good job. They don't need me. That's not what he asked us. That's not what he asked us. It's personal. It's me and him is the reason I am to be obedient in whatever he says to do. So last week, I was praying about a situation, and my heart was so heavy and so hurt, and because free will, people get to choose what they will do and what they won't do. The only person that can change that free will for another person is not me. It is the Holy Spirit. He is the only one that can speak to that person and them make a change of the heart that is going to turn that life around. I can pray, and I can pray and pray, and that is what the situation was. I have prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and cried and prayed about a situation, and it didn't go the way the Lord had me praying. Free will. And that was hard. And as I was pouring out my heart to the Lord about this situation, I wish they would just listen to you and follow your way, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it looks like they may lose. And here's what I heard. Ouch. It's when I was pouring my heart out to the Lord about this situation, he says, well, Sheila, I seem to think that's kind of like the same situation in this area in your life that I've told you for years to go do this, and you half-heartedly do it. You do it when the urge strikes, or when I kind of remind you. But isn't that like the same thing? Yeah, that's kind of how the Holy Spirit hits me. Yeah. He has to. I know I'm stubborn and hard-headed, but I was like, you're right. You're right, Lord. I haven't done it. And I have no excuse. There is no excuse. I just didn't want to do it. And I haven't done it as I should have, consistently and as he wanted. Because it was hard. It's hard. What he wants me to do is hard. And it takes a lot of time and effort. And anyway, going back to what we were talking about. Offering is a little easier sometimes to give a little more money or give a little more time over here or do this good thing, even though it's not what God is asking you to do today or this month or this year. It might not be his task for you now in this season of your life. See, there's a million good things that could keep us busy from now until the day I'm in the grave. But what about if I did all of those million things, good things for Jesus, and I did not follow through on the one task that he gave me personally to go do for him? Think about that. If I get to heaven and he says, you did a lot of good things. You sure did. But I had people to handle all that. But you went and did that because it was easier than the one thing I asked you to do. And if you had just done it, we would have had just look at what would have happened. You missed it. You missed it. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. But this verse is what kept coming to me. So often we can do the good things, give a little more money, or go help out in VBS, or do this, or whatever it is. Like I said, there are millions of things that are good things. But if it's not what God's called you to do today, then those are just good things. It's still disobedience if we don't do what we know he's nagging us to do. So this verse right here kind of sums it up, and it makes that little ouch that I felt last week even more ouch. This is in 1 Samuel 15, 22. It's a whole story of where the Lord was telling Saul what to do. He did it, but he did it his way. He was 90%, he did what the Lord told him to do. But then there was a little part about where God had told him, but leave everything there. Do not bring back a single thing when you overtake that area. Do not bring back a single thing. But they couldn't leave the plunder there. They couldn't leave the gold and the silver and the all those free things now that are there. When they took that land, they brought it back because it seemed senseless to leave all that stuff there just to waste and die. You know, the livestock would just die if they left them there. That was stupid. God wouldn't want you to do that, right? But the Lord had told them, don't bring a single thing back. But they did what they thought. The Lord just didn't know what he was talking about. So Samuel, the priest, is now telling Saul, the king, this. But Samuel replied, what is more pleasing to the Lord? Your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to his voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifice, and submission is better than offering the fat of the rams. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as bad as worshiping idols. So because you have rejected the command of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. So I'm not going to be king anytime soon. I was not anointed to be king. But God did anoint me for certain tasks and assignments that he wants me to do with him. Some of those are very scary for me because that's not my comfort zone. But I do not want to live in disobedience. So I have to figure out how Sheila can want to do it so bad, but I can't physically do all the work and make it happen. I've got to figure out how to control myself, my body, my time, my thoughts, all of the stuff. I have to get with him and get a plan together and write it down, make it plain, and go do what he's told me to do in this season to the best I can. If I get it wrong or I'm not good at it, guess what? That doesn't matter to him. Doesn't matter my skill level. He knows that. It matters that I'm taking the step of faith to go do this with him. That's what matters. It may only be about the matter of taking the step. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's because I want to be so close to him that I am tripping onto the hem of his robe. I want to stay that close to Jesus. I don't want any disobedience. It's kind of like a kid when you've done something wrong, you kind of distance yourself from your parents for, you really don't want to be around them because they might see lie all over your face or something. I don't want disobedience. I don't want anything to have any barrier between me and him, because that is how sweet the relationship is with him. That is how sweet a relationship with my God is. That's how precious it is to me. So I am praying for me and I am praying for you today. Lord, help us to walk into what you have shown us. Lord, that nagging thought that just will not go. As many times as we tell you, we can't do that. We're not qualified to do that. So-and-so is doing that much better than I am, or I don't have the time to do that. Whatever the excuse is, Lord, I ask you right now that you would make it plain as day, that you would have it ring out. Here's your time. Here's your time. And here is how I want you to do it. Just go be you. I have called you to be you in this time and in this task. You go be you, because I have your voice. I have your word. I have your body to go talk to other people and let them know how much I love them just like I love you. All right. Can't wait to hear what God's talking to you about. Leave it in the comments below. I want to cheer you on. Love y'all.